Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to an updated mod spotlight on Computercraft. Computercraft currently version 1.73. The major update in this version of Computercraft is this beautiful little device sitting right in front of me. Unfortunately, those of you guys who play in a survival world may have no use for this, because it has no crafting recipe. Unless, of course, you have access to make command blocks. That's right, this is the command computer, and it's basically a Lua scriptable computer that can do everything command blocks can. So if you guys are fans of building maps or using command blocks, and you wish that you had a more stronger scripting language that you can go ahead and do all kinds of crazy, more complex things with command blocks, then this mod update is for you. It's my personal theory that the way Computercraft works, those of you who like to use Computercraft will love the command block features added. It's going to change the way command blocks can be used in much the same way that the original version of Computercraft changed the complexity of Redstone. So, without further ado, let's start taking a look at Computercraft version 1.73. So one of the first things you'll discover when you try to activate this computer is that you need to be in creative mode to use it. So go ahead and make sure to put yourself in creative mode and you'll be able to access the computer. Now there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do, and most of it is centered around an API command called commands. So let's take a look at some of the commands that are available in Computercraft 1.73. It's pretty much anything that's available as a command block. And if you want to see a list of them, you can run commands.list. You're probably going to want to dump this out to a file of some sort so that you can get them all listed in a file nice and easily. So for example, I've just gone ahead and made a quick program that will spit out 10 of them at a time, and then you hit another button, it'll spit out another 10. So these are all the commands that you can use with the command block. You can see there's about 34 of them in just regular vanilla Minecraft, and some mods add their own commands that you can use. So currently I don't have any of those mods installed because I didn't want to have this list be populated with a bunch of mod-related commands, but keep in mind that other mods might add their own commands. Let's take a look at how we can use these commands. So we'll jump back into the Lua shell and we'll say, for example, commands.exec, and then you can pretty much, in quotes here, write exactly what you would want to write. One thing I'll show you before we do that, though, is that I've labeled this computer command computer 1. That's important for what you're about to see. So let's do commands.exec, say, hello, Direwolf20. And you'll notice that just as if you had written the say command into a command block, you'll get hello Direwolf20. There's a couple other commands we can do, obviously. Number one, all 34 of the ones that we saw up there. But of course, there's a few special ones that have been added just to Computercraft. So for example, we can do commands.get block position, and that will get the block position of this command block in the world. Cool. So if we take a look, you'll see, and remember you want to round this up. So, we're right around -48. That sounds right. 69 because it's 1 foot, run below my feet, and then 272. So nice. So we've got this block position is available with commands.get block position. You can also do commands.get block info. And this is where things get pretty cool. So for example, if we wanted to go, -47, for example, so we'll do -47, 69, 272. What we should see is that that is a piece of cobblestone with metadata 0. Neat. Let's go ahead and place a chest there. Cool, Minecraft chest with metadata 4. Neat. So there's all kinds of nifty stuff that you can go ahead and check out. So we'll just do this one, for example, Minecraft Ender Chest. Very cool. So you can use the commands.getBlockInfo to find out using, it'll be stored in a table, exactly what is stored in any block position in the world. So if we wanted to go, back a little bit more, we could do -46. And that should be cobblestone. Neat. And then if there's nothing there, of course, I think it'll list it as Minecraft:air. Cool. So another thing that you can do with command blocks is place blocks in the world. So say I wanted to place a block of cobblestone right there, but I didn't want to right click because that's a lot of work. Instead, I'm going to write all these commands, like commands.exec, set block, give it the position in the world, and tell it exactly what to place there, right? So I want a piece of cobblestone right there, please do so. Boom, done, block placed, right? So just like you can place a block with command blocks, you can place a block with this. Now, it goes even further. You don't actually have to run the command.exec function every time you want to do this, because Dan's actually converted all the command blocks into direct API calls that you can do. So for example, you can do commands.setBlock and then give it the coordinates, -46, 69, 272, and then tell it what type of block to place there. So we'll do Minecraft:stone. Block placed. Boom. So it replaced the cobblestone with stone. Cool. And if we wanted to, we could switch it back to cobblestone. Done and done. So you can see here, pretty neat functionality. Now, the setBlock command does have, a handful more of features. You can tell it whether to replace the block that's there or break and drop the block that's there. So those of you familiar with command blocks, I'm going to be totally honest, I'm not much of a command block person. Like, I've rarely ever played with them at all. So I'm not super well versed in exactly what's possible and what's not with command blocks. But let's see what we can do by taking these simple commands that we can run now and turning them into a script. So let's say I wanted to make a wall of diamonds directly in front of me. Now you could do this with X, Y, and Z, but I'm just going to have a wall on the Z and Y plane, and it's going to be a pretty small wall. But with a simple for loop, I can do this. Now, in Minecraft 1.8, there is a way to set a big area of blocks to be all the same thing, but in 1.7, I don't think that function is available, so I've replicated it here using a couple basic for loops. So let's go ahead and run the command, and ta-da, boom, just create a wall of diamonds. Haha, that's cool. And just as you would expect, all the commands that are available, like the @p function, which will find the nearest player, when you run that, it'll go ahead and translate that @p into direwolf20. So you can see here I told it to say @p, that becomes direwolf player. You can also use @r, which is random player, @e, which is all players, and @e, which is all entities. So for example, if I wanted to clear direwolf20's inventory, or whatever player happens to be nearby, I could do this. Commands.clear, boom, my inventory's gone. And if I wanted to set my game mode to creative, that should work. Hey, there we go, cool, I'm in creative mode now. Not that I wasn't before, but you get the point. So the next thing we can try maybe is the effect command. So this should give me the speed effect. We're gonna make it 10 seconds. Cool, for 10 seconds, woot. That's pretty cool. So as you can tell, lots of cool stuff you can do. Pretty much like I said, anything that's a command block has been translated into this commands function. You can either use commands dot and then the function. So for example, commands dot say, or you can do commands dot exec and then put the function there. So the commands dot exec would function exactly the same way the command block line would. Cool. Now there's one other really cool ability, and that's running asynchronous commands. Typically when you do a command function, so for example, if we were to come over here and we did the, let's edit clearland, and we're going to remove all the diamond blocks and instead put air there. Notice how the function, as it's running, doesn't allow the computer to continue to do other stuff. So you noticed a slight pause there, right? So let's edit clearland, and we're going to, instead of commands.setBlock, we're going to do commands.async.setBlock. And we're going to make this cobblestone. And we run clearland now. Notice the program ends and it asynchronously placed all those blocks. So immediately, without any delay, without waiting for the blocks to be removed, it instantly ran the next command. So typically when you run a command in a command block like this, command.setBlock, it'll wait for that function to finish before moving on to the next one. By using async, there was no wait. Okay, so let's actually bump this up. So we're going to bump this out to 60 to 84. That sound cool? And we're going to make this air again. And this should be an even clearer explanation of the difference between async and not. So we'll run clearland, and boom, it cleared away all the land. And you'll notice that it cleared away a bunch of the stuff. It ran immediately, right? And if we edit this again and make it cobblestone, boom, it put all the cobblestone blocks right there, just instantly, right? Let's do it without an async command, and this will run synchronously, which means it has to finish what it's currently working on before it moves on to the next. Notice here, it's running one block at a time, right? And it's quick to finish. It runs maybe like, 1 block per tick or something like that. So it's real fast. It only took a second or two to clear a bunch of lines. But as you notice, it's obviously a lot slower than it was when we did stuff asynchronously. Definitely a difference. So that's one of the other cool things about the Computercraft Command API. You can run things synchronously or asynchronously. You can do pretty much anything a command block can do. All right, guys, and with that, I think it's a pretty good wrapping up point for the episodes. Let's try this one more clear land command. This should clear a pretty big swath of land. Boom. Taken care of. Nice. So you can see lots of cool power with command blocks. We will be checking out some of this cool stuff maybe in a future video. I have some ideas on something I might want to build with this. So for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.